ว่นหรือใต้คลิปเดี๋ยวผมใส่ไว้ให้
The shadows beckon.
Wait till you see me in
The
action.
dead shall serve. This better be good. The dead shall serve.
Greetings, my lord.
What does the shadow will? The dead shall serve. Intriguing. As the shadow wills. For the Lich King. Intriguing. What does the shadow will? This better be good. Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. Intriguing. Let darkness guide me. Intriguing. Let darkness guide me, as the shadow wills. For the Lich King, intriguing. None shall survive. Let darkness guide me.
Tremble before the scourge.
For the Lich King, as the shadow wills. For the Lich King, let darkness guide me. Intriguing. For the Lich King, die.
Tremble before the scourge.
Intriguing. As the shadow wills. Intriguing. As the shadow wills. Die. For the Lich King.
Tremble before the scourge.
Die.
Tremble before the scourge.
Darkness guide me. None shall survive. For the Lich King. Die. Let darkness guide me. For the Lich King. Intrigue. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. For the Lich King. What? The dead shall serve. Let darkness guide me.
Tremble before the scourge.
As the shadow wills. They'll all be mine. Intriguing. As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. For the Lich King. Intriguing. As the shadow wills. Intriguing. As the shadow wills. For the Lich King. Intriguing. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. Intriguing. Let darkness guide me.
First blood.
Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. For the Lich King. Let darkness guide me. For the Lich King. None shall survive. Die. This battle. Let darkness guide me. None shall survive. Die. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. Intriguing.
Tremble before the scourge.
Darkness guide me. None shall survive.
Tremble before the scourge.
As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. For the Lich King. Intriguing. Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. Intriguing. Let darkness guide me. Intriguing. As the shadow wills. Intriguing. Let darkness guide me. For the Lich King. The dead shall serve. Intriguing.
Give me something to do.
What does the shadow will? Die! As the shadow will. For the Lich King. The rest of the dead await. Let darkness guide me. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. What does the shadow will?
Tremble before the scourge.
For the Lich King. Intriguing. As the shadow wills. Intriguing. Let darkness guide me. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. For the Lich King. Intrigue. For the Lich King.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Let darkness guide me. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. Insufficient mana. Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills.
Our allies' town needs help.
Take your time. Look around.
This better be good. For the Lich King. Let darkness guide me. Die. For the Lich King. Let darkness
Our
guide me.
allies' town needs help.
For the Lich King.
Tremble before the scourge.
None shall survive. As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. The dead shall serve. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me.
Tremble before the scourge.
For the Lich King. Intrigue. For the Lich King. Let darkness guide me. as the shadow will. Intriguing. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide. For the Lich King. Let darkness guide. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. Intriguing. As the shadow wills. Intriguing. Let darkness guide. Intriguing. Die. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. For the Lich King. Let darkness guide me. Intriguing. As the shadow wills. Intriguing. For the Lich King.
Hello.
The dead shall serve. Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. Intriguing. For the Lich King. Intriguing. For the Lich King. Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. None shall survive. Intriguing. As the shadow wills. Intriguing. Let darkness guide me. Guide me as the shadow wills. Darkness guide me as the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. Intriguing.
Tremble before the scourge.
Let darkness guide me. For the Lich King, as the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. Intriguing. As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. Die. For the Lich King.
Our allies' town needs
As
help.
the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. Intriguing. As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me.
Our allies' town needs help.
Let darkness guide me. Intriguing. For the Lich King. This battle. As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. As the
Our
shadow
allies'
wills.
town needs help.
Intriguing. For the Lich King.
Tremble before the scourge.
Darkness guide me. Let darkness guide me.
Killing spree, double kill.
Let darkness guide me.
Dominating. Triple
Lich King.
Our allies' town needs
Intriguing.
help.
What does the shadow will? For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. This better
Our
be
allies' town needs help.
good. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. Where shall my blood be spilled? The dead shall serve. Let darkness guide me. The restless dead await. As the shadow wills, the dead shall serve. This better be good. What does the shadow will? The restless dead await. They'll all be mine. Better be good. What does the shadow will? For the Lich King.
Double kill.
The dead shall serve. Let darkness guide me. Better be good. As the shadow wills. For the Lich King. Let darkness guide me. For the Lich King. Die. Let darkness guide me. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. Intrigue. For the Lich King. Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. For the Lich King. Let darkness guide me.
Killing spree.
For the Lich King. The dead shall serve. The restless dead await. Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. This better. The dead shall serve. The restless dead await.
Every man lives. Not every man truly dies.
Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. Intriguing. For the Lich King. Intriguing. The dead shall serve. For the Lich King. Let darkness guide me. For the Lich King. Let darkness guide me. For the Lich King. Let darkness guide me. Intrigue. Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. This better be good. Let darkness guide me. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. For the Lich King. Intriguing. Let darkness guide me. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. Intriguing. Let darkness guide me.
Tremble before the scourge.
None shall survive. Intriguing. Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. For the Lich King.
Tremble before the scourge.
As the shadow wills.
Double kill.
Lich King.
Wait till you see me in action.
The dead shall serve. Intriguing. The restless dead await. For the Lich King. This better be good. As the shadow will. For the Lich King. Let darkness guide. Intriguing. Let darkness guide. As the shadow wills. For the Lich King. What does the shadow will? As the shadow wills. For the Lich King. As the shadow wills. Intriguing. Let darkness guide me. As the shadow wills. Let darkness guide me. For the Lich King. As the shadow will. None shall survive. Let darkness guide me.
Tremble before the scourge.